And good afternoon to you. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you here on WFMY Plus as we continue to track the weather today. Obviously, there was a lot of interest with good reason, a decent chance or a good chance of severe weather across the area. But as we stand right now, at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a lot of this is improving across our area. Glad to have you with us here, and thanks for counting on us for your weather coverage throughout the day. We've seen a couple of developments I want to pass along to you. The headline should be that our severe weather risk is a lot lower than it was earlier. Let me show you right now. This is the live radar around the area, and we'll track this together over the better part of the next 15 minutes or so. But what we're looking at across the triad is definitely seeing a decent amount of still rain showers from place to place. But overall, no severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings locally, at least not for our area. Very, very good news to see at the moment. You'll also see, kind of impossible to ignore this, but there is snow. There's snow over in Tennessee, Alabama, even parts of North Georgia. So crazy to think, but this is a very dynamic system. There's cold weather on one side, there's warm weather on the other. But overall, pretty impressive to kind of see what's going on around the area and how this is kind of moving from place to place. So this is going to continue to kind of be something that we watch through the rest of the afternoon. But overall, I'm pretty encouraged to see what we're seeing, and that's not too much in the way of severe weather for our area. And overall, our threat has really gone down. Looking at temperatures around the region right now, the temperature, I should say, is in the low 60s currently, and kind of the threshold you think about when it comes to storms or tornadoes in North Carolina. You've got to at least be above 60, and you've also got to have dew points that are equally that warm in the 60-degree range. We're cool now, and not terribly cool, but cool enough to make it difficult. This is what convinces me we're probably not going to have any more tornado warnings. At this point in time, the dew points, they have fallen off into the 50s. And unless these rise again later on this afternoon, we're not likely to have any more severe weather. Dew points in the 50s are a very good sign for our area. What that shows me is that the front is on the way. It's not here yet, but it's on the move at least, and something that's going to wipe away all of that warmth. We're seeing that cold front make its way right now through places like Georgia, Atlanta, Tennessee. This is the cold front that's going to be bringing us really cold air overnight tonight. Temperatures will be in the 20s actually. So we have some big changes on the way. As this cold front kind of moves in to the area. It's not here yet, so that's why I say, never say never. Could some other downpours or lightning strikes or things like that, could they pop up the rest of the day? They sure could, because, you still have that energy at least before the cold front arrives. But even having said that, I'm pretty encouraged, by what we're seeing so far. Some moderate to heavy rainfall, still present though. This is in Greensboro at the moment, not doing much of anything in Burlington. Let's show you what the last couple of hours have looked like in Winston-Salem. Once the big line moved through with those tornado warnings earlier, it looks a lot calmer, a lot tamer. You can see some definition to the sky there. There's a little bit of clearing that's trying to develop. So that would be one thing we want to still keep our eye on, would be if any clearing is able to make its way back in, and some sunshine could kind of warm us up. Talk about a cold front though. I mean, this is wild. It's in the 40s in Atlanta, 30s in Nashville. This is the real deal. So there's that cold air kind of moving our way, and we are going to see that be really impacting us in a big way too. Over the next several hours, take a look at your temperatures as we go through the trend here on the 12-hour planner. We're in the 60s currently. It'll still be windy. I think it'll be quite windy later on this afternoon as the front goes by. Then we'll be dropping into the 50s and then the 40s by around 8 to 9 and 10 o'clock this evening. And then down we go into the 30s toward the overnight. In fact, it'll get colder than that. I'm expecting it to be in the upper 20s and mid 20s for most of us. So tomorrow morning does look to be a cold one for us. Lots of cold stuff for sure headed our way. And that could be a big impact, to the rest of our area. You think about the farmers, the fruit crops, things like that. Cold weather, not our friend this time of year with stuff already blooming. Let's take a look here. This is going to be your futurecast over the next several hours. We are looking ahead and seeing just some scattered rain, maybe a downpour or two. And then here's the front. So our model continues to keep us in the 50s through about 5 and 6 o'clock, 40s over here, 20s and 30s over here. After that, there comes the cold. Snow showers continue for the mountains. Tomorrow should be a dry day, but a very cold St. Patrick's Day for us. Temperatures only in the mid 40s for the afternoon, if you can believe that. And then overnight tomorrow gets even colder for us. What we watch for the rest of the day when it comes to severe weather, it's interesting to me. We're not in charge of putting out these outlooks. These are created by the Storm Prediction Center at the National Weather Service. They're going to get a lot of questions about today, and I understand it because level 4 risks are supposed to be reserved for the worst of the worst kind of a days. And this has been far from the worst of the worst kind of a day. So a lot of questions coming their way. They even kept this at the noon update, which shocked me. I don't think it's warranted, to be honest with you. Level 3 remains across most of eastern North Carolina. We're in a level 2 and a level 1 right now, which I honestly still think is too high for our region. But that's kind of what they have going forward. And even if you look outside of our region, there's not much going on that scares you at the moment. So overall, this has been an underwhelming severe weather risk across the eastern United States. You say, why is that the case? What could have really been the cause of that? If you go over the last 24 hours or so, there were some signs that this would get a little too sloppy, a little bit too messy. For severe weather, you don't want to have competing factors at play. So we had this morning, we had a couple showers and lines ahead of the main line, and then the main line itself got here too quickly. So all of those things played into the fact of us not getting all that much weather. This was last evening around midnight. The line went through Nashville. Then this morning, it was crossing the mountains. We had a little line in front of it, and then the actual line that came through with the tornado warnings. Well, it just didn't have as much punch because of the extra cloud cover that we saw and just competing for space and competing for all the other moisture. I do want to continue to take a look at our weather cameras, though, mostly just because I'm pretty curious to see what's going on in Tennessee. We're going to look over there at some of the snow that's falling, and I believe we have a couple cameras from just on the other side of the area. So we've got some in Knoxville that'll be worth taking a look at. So this is Knoxville, Tennessee. I don't see anything falling just yet. Oh, sure enough. I'm going to play this out for you. So this is, well, we already have it, I guess. Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's see what's going on. And truth be told, the ground's wet, but you have leaves on the trees and snow flurries falling from the sky. You can see that fellow walking by with a toboggan on his head. And so, yeah, that colder air is making itself known over there in Knoxville at the moment. So pretty impressive to go from, all the warmth, the storm concerns to what you have now. So the rest of the day today, let's kind of keep an eye on things. Rain is going to remain in the area every now and then. Gusty winds going to be a factor too. We could still see some winds gusting around 25 to 40 miles per hour. And you want to make sure, just take it easy if you're on the roadways, because this is going to be a bit of an issue. Could still be sloppy around the area. This is all happening because of this cold front. As we said, that front leaves us behind later on this afternoon. Windy weather will continue, and colder weather will continue as well. We've talked a lot about that. Let's kind of mention, though, that the fact that the winds are going to continue to be with us for a little while longer. As I load it up for you. So our model does continue to have some strong winds for the rest of this afternoon, really even through about 6 to 7 o'clock. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's going to be a windy rest of the day for us, and it'll stay pretty breezy tonight, and it'll be pretty breezy tomorrow as well. So plan on a cold and windy day of weather for tomorrow, and that's kind of the plan of where we go from there. Thanks for keeping it with us for the weather coverage here throughout the morning. I knew there were some stressful hours. We did have a couple of storm reports around the area of some downed trees and some issues. Those tornado warnings largely don't seem to have produced tornadoes in our area, but we are starting to get in more and more reports of damage, especially in places like Forsyth County. So let's take a look here. This is one of the counties that we started to see tornado warnings earlier. Walkertown had some downed trees. Forsyth had some downed trees as well. Linville Road, A little bit of some issues there. And there were some power outages, of course, scattered about the area. So could have been a lot worse. We're thankful to be where we are right now. Still going to be cautiously watching between now and about 5 p.m. So keep it with us for any changes. But overall, you can rest a little bit easier now as that tornado threat has really gone down for the majority of our area. I'm going to leave you with some live radar, and we'll be back in about an hour with another update.